It's coming up to 8 minutes to 7. When beacons are lit tonight, not just around the country, but in all 54 Commonwealth countries, an official song will be sung by choirs large and small. We'll hear in a moment from the Australian woman and the Nigerian man who won the competition to write the lyrics and write the music. And first, though, here is an extract of A Life Lived with Grace. A Life Lived with Grace. The words, the music will be heard right around the Commonwealth tonight, and I'm delighted that in our little studio overlooking Buckingham Palace, we're joined by the lyricist, by Lucy Kiley, an Australian, and by Vincent Atui, who is here from Nigeria. And the lovely thing seeing you both, a moment which I wish the listeners could have seen, is you'd never met, Lucy. You've
That's
just
right.
met here and now.
That's right. By nature of the competition, it was all done remotely. So we're meeting for the first time here in front of the palace, which is really fitting, I think, for the occasion.
Vincent, it must be extraordinary for you. Lucy wrote the words first, I think, and then you the music.
Yeah, she wrote the words first, and when I saw the words, the three words lyrics were presented to us, so I looked at them and considered the guidelines and also the purpose of the song. So that was why I loved her own lyrics, and I picked her own lyrics.
You chose her from three, and what in particular were you trying to achieve? You talk about the guidelines. It was appealing to as many people as possible.
Yeah, the first guideline was that it should have a strong melodic line, such that it can be performed a cappella without instrumentation, and it will still sound nice. Another was that it should be choir friendly. Whether it's a choir of few performers or a larger ensemble, it should be choir friendly, and also it shouldn't be age bound. Children can perform it, adults can perform it. So I looked at those qualities in my
Which is quite a thing for a composer to be able to do it in all those different ways for so many different choirs and orchestrations.
Yeah.
And Lucy, what were you looking for when you were writing the lyrics? What were you thinking of?
I approached it more from, the perspective of writing poetry, and my intention was to instill hope in both the singers who are performing the song and those who are enjoying it. It's been a pretty harrowing couple of years, so I wanted to write something that was positive.
I'm struck by this lyric. There's a light that leads the ship back home to shore, comparing the Queen with that sort of light. Now, you come from a country where there are lots of people who would stop you in the streets and say, oh, nonsense, we should just, it's a completely old-fashioned view of the world. What makes you feel that way?
I wanted the song to be anthemic and, relatable to lots of people. It also had to be age appropriate, from young children through to people who have, lived their whole life with the Queen. So it can be, a symbol of hope, whatever that is, whatever that means to you.
And what moves me, I'll be honest, Vincent, is you arrived here. You've had a bit of a journey, haven't you? Your first time in London.
Yes.
Your first time minutes ago overlooking the palace.
Exactly.
What does Her Majesty, as we celebrate 70 years of her on the throne, what does she mean to you?
Oh, well, it's a celebration that I look at, and I become very happy because it's a manifestation of God's grace and God's mercy. And also, it means also that she had shouldered this particular assignment for the past 70 years. It's an opportunity and a privilege that doesn't come always. So I looked at that, and in my writing, I kind of appreciating this that God has done for the Queen, and also all of us that are from countries that we are colonized. We also.
And Lucy, you and Vincent are going to be stood just down below where we are now tonight when the beacons are lit. It's going to be quite a moment.
It's going to be sensational, I think. It's being performed. The principal beacons are being lit on the Mall, and it's being performed by Gregory Porter, who is a Grammy Award-winning vocalist, along with a gospel choir. So I think it's going to be remarkable.
Well, Lucy, it's been a pleasure to meet you, a pleasure to meet Vincent as well, and I hope a pleasure for you two to get to know each other, having written together from a distance. We'll post a photograph of the meeting for the first time on my Twitter and on the Today Twitter account as well, so you can enjoy some of that pleasure.
Thank you. 7 is the time.